Busy couple of weeks for Jimmie Johnson in Charlotte, helping our football analyst Tony Siragusa from Fox build a man cave for Jimmie's father, Gary. The decked-out room including an underground parking spot for his Harley. Lowe's and Jimmie hosting a concert starring Darius Rucker in support of the USO and newly created Lowe's USO Family Fund. And you can support the cause by texting USO to 50555. That's 50555. Make a $5 donation to the Lowe's USO Family Fund. Especially this weekend, we appreciate your support. Jimmie Johnson won 3 races already this season, but he's also failed to finish 3 races. And to make matters even worse, his teammate Jeff Gordon publicly complained about Johnson being the cause of some wrecks. Darrel sat down to talk with a 4-time champ who's experiencing a season unlike any other.
I have to ask you about the beard because that's the most obvious thing, and you know me. Who you aggravating this time?
Who else? Chad. I mean, there's nothing that gets under his skin more, and figured I'd just kind of probe him a little bit.
I was Jeff Gordon, okay? And I'm sitting here and I say, here's Jimmie's setup sheet. And I know everything he's doing, but he still beats me. You know, that's got to be a little bit of that's got to aggravate him a little. That's got to annoy him a little bit. Is that part of that teammate thing where you two have kind of had a little run-in here lately?
You know, it all adds to it. Things happen, man. You're out there racing. We both have egos. We both want to be champions. We both are champions. Stuff builds up from time to time. It's just part of it. I finally got to a point where I said, okay, you know, for 8 or 9 years here, I've been taking more than I've been receiving. I finally had my fair share, and you know, threw a tire mark on the side of them, and then, you know, things were there, and we talked, and it was fine. And then we go to Talladega, and a mistake I made kind of, you know, set things off again, and carried on and went on. So it's been exciting.
The radio was great.
4 times a little upset.
Oh, 4 times a little upset. That's a compliment, really.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, you are a 4-time champion, same as him.
I just kept my mouth shut on the radio, and he had an open mic essentially to come up with some really good witty comments about me.
Good one-liners.
I missed my opportunity. You've been in that teammate situation. I mean, you guys help each other, you work together, but damn, he's the guy you're fighting with each week to win races and championships, so it's tough.
When we get to Daytona in February, is it going to be 5? Or have you thought about, what if you don't win number 5?
Man, I'm a realist. I didn't think winning 4 in a row was possible, so I'm not sure 5 is. And it hasn't happened for Earnhardt, for yourself, for Petty, for the greats, for a reason. And it's tough to do. And the thing I've watched Jeff over the years do, and other great teammates I've worked with in the past, you know, they're at their peak, and it's easy when you're there. But how do you handle things on the other side of that? And I've seen a lot of people handle it well, and then not so well. And I want to be in that well category. And I know at the end of the day, if I leave the racetrack, and in this season, knowing that we did everything we could and we got beat, I can live with that. But if I drop the ball, or we're not prepared, or something goes on inside of our team, I'm going to be disappointed. But if we get beat, and it's going to happen at some point, then we got beat.
Whatever happens, he is a classy champion. And, you know, he hasn't been the same since the return of the spoiler and since the spat with Jeff Gordon. Which one do you think has affected him more, Darrel?
When Richard Petty or Cale Yarborough or even Bobby Allison would come to me and complain about the way I drove, it affected the way I drove.
Cut in, huh? Why?
Because they were bigger stars in the sport. And I think Jeff Gordon and Jimmie Johnson's relationship, I think Jimmie Johnson looks up to Jeff Gordon. Jeff Gordon's not happy with me and the way I'm driving. I think I might need to lay low for a little while and let this all cool off and blow over. I think that might be about where he is.
Well, you know, Jeff may be using some of your psychology that you used on Bill Elliott back in 1985, Chris, getting in his mind off the racetrack as well as trying to beat him on the racetrack. That's kind of important. But so, along the same lines, when you talk about Jimmie Johnson, what I love about him, he's not changed being a 4-time champion, and I don't think he's going to change when he does lose that championship.
Yeah, remember, he doesn't get a ride if it's not for Jeff Gordon. So the relationship, close but somewhat fractured. Over the past 89 races, Jimmie Johnson's won 21 of those. His teammate, 4-time Cup champion Jeff Gordon, has won just once.